Hi, I need to apologize. In my last video I was talking about that I only used 4.0 lenses, and it's still true, still do. But this past weekend I shot an event, yearly event in town for a lot of companies that get awards over the years. And I borrowed 2.8 lens from a friend just to compare. Because I maybe went a little bit overboard in saying that the pros have it too easy, and the difference is not that big actually between a 4.0 and a 2.8. I had a little bit easier time in the dark parts of the venues, barely struggling less than I used to. I will throw some pictures up so you can see some pictures from the venue. I took some with my 70-200 and some with the 2.8. A lot of the pictures that was the most important was taken on stage when they are getting the prizes, and it's very well lit. I had to go up and down to get the right exposures, so some were too dark and then I have to crank it up and crank it down. So I went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So my conclusion is that it's not only the lens that matters when you're taking photos in these conditions. It's also the camera and the photographer. I cannot only just blame the lenses and the light is coming into the camera. It's barely the lenses or the camera's fault that the pictures is bad. It's mostly me as a photographer, because I have to work with the equipment that I got. And as I said before, I am struggling sometimes, and it's a practice. You have to work hard, you have to read the lights. They say that 70% of photography is reading light. It's true. It's very true. There was not only me taking pictures, there was the local newspaper. I am shooting Canon, as you know. She was shooting on Nikon. She had recently bought a new camera that she thought was working better for her in these conditions. But she also had one of Nikon's high-end cameras, an old one. But I'm working with the Mark III, it's 10 years old or so, and I took like, I don't know, 1,000 pictures, and they turned out great. I have delivered them, and no one has said anything about the quality or anything. So maybe it's just me that feels that I need better equipment, but the thing that I produce and send to the client are all good. So maybe the fault is not in the lens or the camera, but in the photographer. In this case it's me. So the takeaway from this: don't be too hard on yourself. I was taking picture from 5 in the evening to 11:30. I had a lot of time to get to do all the mistakes and make everything right. So do your recon, make a lot of practice before you start shooting for real in this type of situations. You have a good time. They are mingling in the same lights that you will take the pictures in. So the big thing ain't in the equipment you use, it's on you. Because if you haven't done your recon and your work and your practice to actually be in these type of situations and work with the equipment that you got, no one can succeed. It's easy as that. Even the best photographer can make a great picture from a worse camera than anybody else. They will work with the light that they got. They will work with the equipment they got. So it's important to practice in all type of conditions. And if it's that type of work that you really want to do, then by all means do it. Practice in low light. Maybe not got hung up on I have to buy the latest equipment, I have to get more light in, I only can shoot prime because they will let in more light and stuff. They will do that, but some lenses that let in a lot of light has very low focal point, so it will be harder to nail focus on where you want the focus to go. The new cameras are incredibly good on nailing the focus, but it's also, you have to know your equipment to get the focus. I know sometimes when I use Madel lens, the Nifty 50, very shallow focal to nail it. So for example, if you use Canon 1.2, it's even smaller. It may be if you just miss by an inch the picture might be crap. So practice, it's the only thing I can say. And if I stepped on people's toes with my last video where I said why the pros ain't using worse equipment because they are on higher pressure, they are doing bigger things than I am doing, so I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I can feel sometimes that I need newer, better and faster equipment, but then I try to realize what I got and what I actually have come from, the journey I have done to get to the point where I am now. I started working with a 400D when I started out shooting, and then I upgraded to 60D, used that for like 5 years. Then I started working in a photo store, got to use their 5D Mark II. At that point I felt that the focus points in the cameras were too few, because in the 60D and the 5D Mark II you only got like 9 focal points to work with, where in the Mark III you got like 32 or so. In the new cameras you get focal points all around the frame. Easier to nail focus. So yeah, it is easier with equipment, but you have to know how to use it to make it easy, if that makes sense. So I've come from 400D 18 years ago to an R now. I could probably produce the same work that I am now with the knowledge I got now with the 400D. Really hope that I'm that good, but the pressure and the level that I'm shooting at now acquires better gear to deliver the quality that I need to deliver. So it's not just saying that lenses with worse light capabilities like the 4.0 are bad lenses, or that you can't use them, or that they are harder to use or easier to use. I don't know, I'm just rambling on, but yes, I could produce the same kind of work with a 4.0 that with a 2.8, but it will be easier and quicker if I use 2.8 lenses. Maybe even if I use primes in pitch black, the work that I need to get done. It's like when you are climbing a mountain, you are not doing that in sneakers or shorts. You are doing it in the gear that acquires the work. But if you're hiking a hill, you can do it in shorts and sneakers. Mountains you climb without a type of gear. So the takeaway is practice hard, know where you're going, see what equipment that you might be buying in the future, but make it work with the equipment you got, because it will be easier when you get to the level that you want to be, and know what equipment that you need to use. So that's all I have for you today. An apology to the pros. Sorry if I made fun of you and you should use worse lenses to get the same results. And practice, maybe not every day, but a lot, if you know where you're going, and make the gear work for you, not work with the gear or something like that. I don't know. So I hope to see you in the next one. Maybe I do some kind of tutorial. Maybe you want to see how I edit photos, maybe from the last event or so. Maybe dropping a new video thoughts on M3 now with the benchmark out. They are insane. I'm really looking forward to get my hands on one of those and edit some photos. Maybe a video on that too. But yeah, have it good, have it nice, practice hard, and I see you. Goodbye.